Good morning, everybody. So it's quite early in India today. So I'm not sure whether you are watching live or you are watching the recording. Just give me a minute. I think I'm recording my mic. Okay, let's go. So it's possible that you were not able to hear me properly. So good morning, everybody. So today I decided to start early. The reason being that I have a very small son. And hi Pallavi, good to see you online. So the reason I started early today that I have a 4-year-old son, and my son, uh, when he wakes up, he hardly allows me to do anything. So this is the reason I thought that it may be a good idea that I start early and finish off early before he wakes up. Because when he is up, he wants to come and say hi. Okay, so let's hope. And today I will, we will start working on this bird. I really would love to see your paintings as you paint this along with me. And I would you would be very happy if you can share your paintings as you paint. So one more thing is today I'm slightly unwell, so I thought that now we will paint little bit, probably for half an hour, and as soon as I am slightly well, we'll do another session and complete the painting in case we are not able to complete it today. Okay, so let's get started. So, are you all excited to paint this bird? I am very excited. Okay, so let's get started. Hi, Sharad. Okay, so before we start painting this bird, I will show you this um, piece of this. Yes, I will. We will just analyze and look at the reference photo for a minute. So if you will notice that the light is falling on this bird from this side, even on the branch, because the edges of the branches dark, while this side. So it is obvious that light is falling on the bird in the branch or from this side. So because of this, this area is lit up, and as the bird is turning away, we get some shadows here. So this is some form shadows that we have, and this is the highlight on the bird, some mid-tones. So this I always go back to the basics and look at how we can make this bird look 3D. And this has a very soft background, so it depends on you whether you want to paint the background or you want to leave it white. Okay. I just made a small uh, you know, copy yesterday, and I just decided to do a uh, background, like loose background around the bird. So as we get started, so I have transferred my line drawing to my page, my drawing page. So I am using Arches cold press 140 pounds paper, and so I prefer using Arches because I feel that it's a very good paper and it supports what you are trying to do. So let's get started. Before I start, I always try to look for the right colors for my painting. So most of the colors of this painting are uh, like yellow, orange, somewhat brownish, grayish kind of colors. So, so if we look at the reference photo, it's yellowish, orangish, and some uh, slightly gray, brownish gray colors around the bird. Even though the branch is green, we may not necessarily make it green. Like, it depends on us whether we want to make the branch look green or not. Okay, so see, I already have taken down some of the colors that I will be using. So this is yellow. The yellow that I'm using is Windsor yellow. Okay. So sorry. So what we will do is, I will take clean water and wet this area with the clean water. I am going over the beak of this bird also. So robin is a very interesting bird. I don't think it's found in India, but I really like the small, cute bird. And this bird, if you see a bird, it is believed that it will bring you luck. So I hope as we paint, it brings luck to all the people. So as I'm not putting water around the eye, just little bit. In the area where there is orange color. So I'm just putting so much of water so that there is a small little shine on my paper. Okay. Now let's get started with yellow color, and if you will see, there is some yellow here. Even if it bleeds, it's okay, because these are darker colors. And I'm just very gently touching the brush and let it spread little bit. So as I'm coming down, even though this has more orange, but we can see little bit of orange, yellow color also in between. So I'm just putting little yellow here and there, leaving some gaps. Now what I'll do is, I will probably zoom in a little bit to show you how I'm painting. Okay. I'm zooming on the bird. I'll just check your comments if there are any comments, questions. Hi Kanika Di. Yeah, Pallavi, that is my challenge also. That it is not, my son will not allow me to paint, because I think he is used to it. He has seen me for now some time, but he will definitely want to come and sit with me and see what's going on. So as a orange color, I'm using this a transparent orange from Shiminke. So I will just mix this color. Okay. And just see, there is a, I will start from the bottom where the orange is more, and I'm trying to use little fur kind of strokes, so that as we like, it looks like fur. So that is why my strokes are like small strokes. And I'm painting little carefully, even around here, around the bird. So I'm trying to see the direction of the fur and trying to add my color. There is little orange color inside the mouth. So this bird has a very unique expression. I love the expression of this bird. And see, this has dried now a little bit, so I have slightly more control over this area. I'm dropping little more color to strengthen the orange color. I find it very soothing how water color moves on the paper. I find this very, very soothing. I will drop a little more orange color here, and as we are coming on this side, I will just change my camera. What happens is after some time it times out, so I have to reset it. Okay. So here we go. It is actually, I think it may look slightly dark to you on the camera, but actually it's quite light. It is not very dark. And one more thing that we have to notice, watercolors always dry lighter than what we see. Okay. So as I'm doing wet on wet technique, the brush strokes are getting lost. This area is drying up, so my brush strokes will be more visible as this area is drying up. So there is some orange touch on the head. If you look at the photo, there is little orange. I am just taking some clean water and spreading the color lightly, so that when we go in with the grayish color, there it is not that visible. Sorry, it is visible. And somewhere around here also, on the there is this shape, which probably my pencil drawing didn't capture very carefully. Here also we can see a touch of light or orange color falling over here. So in watercolor, one of the important things is that once now I am done, like this has become damp or it is losing its shine. So it is better that we leave this area as it is and try not to fiddle too much around it. We will go in and build it further in the next layer. So now what we will do is, like, this color is somewhat like creamish brownish color. So what I'll do is I'm using little bit of raw umber, which is again like a brownish creamish color. So I'm using little raw umber and I'm adding a lot of water to it. So I will start from this side. So I believe in building the color in layers. So I'm using a very watery or pale consistency color, and I am going over this area. So we can always turn the color, make a color slightly gray, but we cannot make a color bright. So let's I'm still using light and pale colors. So as I work in watercolor, my style is to work in layers. So I'm using Winsor Newton raw umber, and the brushes that I am using are my favorite brushes, silver black velvet brush. Over a period of time, I have experimented with a lot of brushes, and I found that these are the ones that I like. Now this area is actually quite light. So what I'll do is I will just so I will just take clean water and blend this. I'm not adding a lot of color over here because it is very it's almost whitish color. There is some color where I think as the bird is turning away from the light, so there is some shadow color which we are seeing over here as it touches the branch. So same, I will bring this color down also. See, this is just the initial layer, so we will build upon as it dries. And one way to check whether the paper is dry or not is to touch it with the back of your hand. So right now, even though it feels dry to me, it is still cold to touch. So if the paper is cold to touch, it is better not to work on it and wait till the paper dries completely. So I have sort of established the base layer of my bird. Now let's, while the bird is drying, let's start our work on the branch. So branch is very simple. It is light on this side and dark on this side. So there are two ways of doing it. One way is that we can again pre-wet the branch. We can put water on the branch. So we can put, I am just putting plain water all over the branch, and I will go over the areas because since it's starting to get hot. So what will happen is, as I put water on other areas, the first area where I had put water, it may start to get dry. So if that is happening to you also, you can again take water and go back. So I'm making sure that all my branch has some color. Now what I'll do is I'll take little bit of raw umber color that we have here and little bit of orange color also. Again we will build the branch also in layers. So first time I will do a light color. I will drop in some color. Let me add some raw burnt umber also. I will mix some burnt umber. So I don't want to make it green. I want to make it slightly brown only. So since it's dark on this side, I am just doing the edges of this branch so that we will automatically get that some dark effect. So I'm just establishing our base colors, base layer. On this branch. This will give us a soft edge on the branch. So there are multiple ways of doing the same thing. One way is this that I have shown. We can let it be, or there is another thing that we can even do, like I can apply color on the entire branch right now. I think this will work slightly better. Apply the color on the entire branch. And then what I'll do is I will use little French ultramarine blue and drop it on the side to create the shadow area of the branch. This is still wet, that is why I am still working on it. As soon as I feel that it's starting to dry out, I'll stop and wait and start working on the next layer. So I will just zoom out and show how it is looking. So here we are establishing the base layer of this bird. So this is cold to, still slightly cold to touch, like almost dry, almost there. So this is how I want to keep my branch. So it is almost getting there. Now let's just put um, one first layer for the eye also. I will use a smaller brush and I will use little blue color, very pale blue color. And even though in the photo there is no highlight, I will leave a highlight. And even though the eye look very black, I will again build the eye in layers. Okay. I will not um, uh, use I will not use black color or brown color. I will build it up in layers. So if you will, we will see there is kind of small fur in this area. I will use little bit of my yellow color. It's become more orange, so I will go back and add little more yellow in this layer to make it little more bright. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I think it's not very visible on the screen, but I will post a photo of my painting. There is I am able to see a lot of yellow color. So like as I'm painting, so as I'm adding, it's brightening up little more. I am trying to get some cadmium yellow color and establish the yellow areas of the sky. I just see if you have any questions. Okay, so Sonali, this I have started with this color. The yellow colors that I have used are Winsor yellow, and I have used raw umber by Winsor Newton, and I have also used this transparent orange for transparent orange by Schmincke. And another color I have used little bit is French ultramarine blue. So I'm just adding a little bit of water, clean water, to just blend the colors. See if zooming in can show you more of my what I'm trying to achieve. Some reason the camera is not able to show the yellow color or the bright colors that I have on my painting. Now what I'll do is I'll add little bit of my orange color here, like the inside the mouth of the bird there is dark, this is a darker area, so I will add little bit of dark color over here. And blend it. When I do the feathers, I try to make sure that I have less water in my brush. I will check again. For some reason it's looking quite dark actually. I will check if there is a way I can make it look lighter. I will just check once if it is possible for me to no problem. Next time I'll try and I will fix this because it's not looking not as dark as it is looking on the camera. So this is about it, and what I'll do is now I will develop these feathers little bit more. I will again use my raw umber and French ultramarine blue and I am mixing. So French ultramarine blue and raw umber or even burnt umber, they give a nice bluish grey kind of color. So it's a very good mix to use in paintings. It's a combination I have seen many artists use in their paintings. It gives a nice grey and we can adjust the amount of blue or brownish, like whether I want a warm grey color or a cool grey color by adjusting the amount of blue or so this I want to keep it, so we'll just check the color here on my study. So this is how the color looks like at the moment. So I will want to add more blue to it. And then I will check my color one more time. Still not sort of somewhere there, getting there. Yeah, I think this is how I want the color to look like. I think you were not able to see as I was mixing the color. So this is my color. And I will again now paint as if this is a bird. So I am using feathery strokes in my painting and paint a bird. So this is the second layer that we are doing right now. There are very thin feathers. I am not trying to get to make all the feathers. But I'm still trying to go in the direction of the feathers. So here there is a mix of warm, and in places it is slightly more blue, in places it is slightly more warm. So when I use a mix of French ultramarine blue and raw umber, what I'm doing is sometimes I'm picking the color which is little more warm, and sometimes I'm picking the color which has little more blue. So it gives a sort of a beautiful combination. And here there are some long feathers. I will again take some clean water and blend this area out. I will put some color here. So now I will adjust the camera again, and I will do the same thing here also. This is quite dark, but we are building up things in layers. As you will see, the painting dries lighter than what it looks like. So the colors, gray color that I have made is helping me in getting the warm grayish color down here. Now what I'll do is, now this area again has dried. I will again take little bit of orange and there is a lot of shadow in this area. So this area is actually quite dark. So I am not making it dark straight away. I am using multiple layers to make it dark. Okay, we will gradually it will become that dark as it is we are looking inside the mouth, but we are not so it should come up now. So I am not doing it immediately, like I am doing it very carefully and gradually. Even on the eye now, I will go and apply little orange color over the eye, which will dull it down. And around the eyes, if you will notice, there are small markings. I will use little orange color to create the area around the eye. And let's have another dash and use our yellowish orangish color and create this area further. Okay, I am now trying to develop using fur-like strokes. So there is kind of a shadow here falling, I think, of the mouth here and here. Here also. And as we come down, there is a feather kind of look here. It's more orangish color and somewhere around here. So the birds have the fur, they grow in different directions. If you will even see the mustache of a person, it will grow in different directions. So in order to achieve the result that we are looking for, it is always a good idea that we work in layers. So what we will do is we will just allow this to dry, and after it dries I will just put some plain water. Mine has slightly dried, so we can put little water over plain water over it to blend this out. So as we are painting, one thing that I would like to say is, don't worry about this is one philosophy that I practice. Don't worry whether it's looking good or bad. Just paint. And as you will continue to practice every day, it will improve. So don't worry about don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Just enjoy the process, like the process of painting. Now I will go one more time and I will add, I am using a burnt umber this time, and I am adding little more dark color over here. See now how it is starting to develop. I am using now clean water and I am blending this area out. So gradually, layer by layer, we are building the bird. So let this dry. It's almost done. I would like to add little more details to the bird. There is this area over here which is darker. This is darker, so I'm going in with French ultramarine blue and just making it little darker. Then there is this shape over here, and which is dark, and there are kind of feathers over here. Which is kind of dark. Okay. I will go over the eye one more time with some blue color. I am leaving a highlight in the eye. Earlier when I started off, I made a bigger highlight. Now I am reducing the size of the highlight. There is another way, like by chance if we don't have a highlight left, we can use little dot of white color and put it as a highlight. So if just by having a highlight, it gives a very beautiful effect or lively effect to the eye, even though we don't have a highlight in the original reference photograph. So what I'll do is I will just blend this. It's looking kind of patchy. And We can do, I think I have forgotten to put attention to the claws. We have claws over here. So let's put a light layer of our gray color only over here. We have claws somewhere here also. So let it dry and then we can apply some lines over it to make it look like claws. So this is briefly about this. Probably I will think if, now what I do is generally I reevaluate the painting after some time. I may do one more layer on the tree, but for today what I'll do is, before we close, I will just work on the background little bit. So it is up to you. You can leave it as it is. It's looking nice like this also. Or we can just do trying a little loose background. So I'm just using clean water and I am painting around the bird. I am putting water randomly to get a soft effect or slightly loose kind of background. So what I'll do is, since this bird is orange, like one of the primary colors in this bird is orange, and if you will even see in the reference photograph, the background has mainly two colors. One is like it looks greenish and it looks bluish in places. If you mix orange and blue, it will give this kind of color. So what I'll do is I'm using French. I use generally in this background same colors that I have used in my subject, and I will just drop in some colors. I'm just dropping some blue and let the water on the paper do the work. There is more water here. I will just use my tissue and pick up the water. And at places so you can see the background a little better, I'm just put my blue color randomly at places. You may be wondering why I'm using a mug. So what happened was my son took my paint tube and had put my French ultramarine blue in the mug. So I am trying not to waste that paint. And I will use the orange color that I have on my palette and drop that also in some places. Leave white areas in the background. We can put little more blue here, around here, to the bird. And one more, we can just lift the paper, and if there is more water, we can just tilt the paper a little bit and let extra water flow away. So this will even allow the colors to blend together. If by chance are some areas where there is more water than what I want, I will just taking a tissue and gently lifting the extra water that is there on my paper. So I feel it looks quite sunny, sorry, for a beautiful Sunday morning. And I hope you enjoy the demo. I will reevaluate the painting one more time and see. I may have to develop little more areas, like I may want to go over the branch one more time. I will I will leave this to dry and then reevaluate the painting. I will come back to you with an update. One more interesting thing that we can do with the background is I sometimes use my spray bottle and just spray some water. It gives it lets the colors flow and gives a different feeling. Some place it will create a watercolor bloom, or some places there will be some dots. So it gives a different feeling to the painting. I will just see if there are water puddles sitting in my background. So like this, there is a water puddle. So I can tilt my paper and let the water flow down towards the edge. But what will happen is some of the color it is likely may go over my. So I will take a tissue and gradually wipe the excess water from my painting before I set it out to dry. Because if there are puddles on the paper, what will happen is these puddles will push the pigment and create watercolor blooms. So I will just go back and check if you have any questions. Hi Gurpreet, hi Akram. Please try and paint this beautiful bird. It looks very sunny and beautiful for a bright Sunday morning. So, and do share your painting. I will be very happy to see the outcomes of the paintings that you make. So, thank you so much for your time. Have a very nice and lovely weekend. Thank you so much.